Greetings to all. I hope you're doing well, brothers and sisters. Aaron Jacobs has joined us. Welcome to you. I hope you are all doing well. Welcome to this live streaming. Today we have another free discussion with question and answers. Come on in, family. Come and join us. I think I will let people know in the community that we are actually live. It's on and popping right now. All right, I'm ready now. So as you have seen, I went to the Louvre Museum in order to do a little guided tour to my good brother, and he had his gear ready in order to take footage and pictures. We went over some Medu nature as well because the brother is interested. He has recently started learning it, so it was really nice to be able to read directly from the stelas, from the painting, from the papyrus. Aaron Jacobs wrote, "Same to you, Shakandugu Kemet. Thanks. You're welcome, brother." Just bear with me 1 second, brothers and sisters. It's very, very warm. Had to open that window. Let me check that you. Oh, yes. Let me check that you can hear me nice and clear. It's very, very. Yeah, that's good. Thank you for the likes, brothers and sisters. Keep them coming. As you know, I usually say it doesn't cost a thing. It's free of charge. In the meantime, if you don't know by now, you have several ways to reach me. For those who don't know, I am Shakandugu Kemet. This is the YouTube account, Ma'at Forever. This is the website. You can add the /English at the end, or you can just go there on afrostyly.com and you will have the menu on the top left corner, and it says English. And Ma'at Forever on Twitter. Make sure to follow me over there so you can be in the know whenever I will be live streaming or whatever else may arise. I would take the habit, I've been taking the habit of informing my people over there, because unfortunately on YouTube, for whatever reason, a lot of people are not notified about the live streaming. But it is what it is. We have to adapt. So let me know what's good. Let me know what's on your mind, brothers and sisters. Let me check. I want to hear if it's too loud, too noisy. The background noise. I want to hear if it's too loud, too noisy. The background noise. I want to hear if it's too. It's okay. All right. Keep the likes coming, brothers and sisters. Keep them coming. Now we have servant of servant of Yah, who is greeting everybody. I hope you're doing well. Servant of Yah, did you get a chance? Did you get a chance to look at this video about the Palestinians in 1300 BCE? Just for the record, for those who might have missed it, I'm about to share it in the chat right now. Palestinians in 1300 BCE. He definitely don't look black at all. Aaron Jacobs. Okay, Servant of Yah hasn't watched it yet. Well, whenever you are available, whenever you have some spare time, it is there. It's not long, really. It's let me tell you, it's a very short video, probably a couple of minutes long, directly from the Louvre Museum. Well, actually, it's 4 minutes long, but you get the gist of it right from the start, directly from the museum, an original stela or relief, and it don't get no better than this. It doesn't get any better than this. The original document from the time period. Shadi has joined us. He wrote Habari Yako, brother. Habari Gari Ndugu. Karibu. Thank you for being there. Aaron Jacobs. Oh, you know what? I forgot. I usually forget something. Now, this is the invite link. Link to talk directly. But link to talk directly. There it is. It's in the chat now. Feel free. Now, Aaron Jacobs wrote my first to you, Shakandu Kemet, is do you believe the Medu nature? I'm sorry. Well, he meant to write nature. He says MTR, but again, I guess he meant to write nature. Do you believe the Neta were real people? And what are your thoughts on those big stone coffins found in the pyramids of, well, the message is obviously not finished. I'm gonna let you finish your message, brother. In the meantime, just going to do something real quickly. As that one can be discarded. I will let the people know that we are live. Just need the link. Oh, I know how to get the link anyway. Okay. Just 1 second. Keep your comments and your questions going, brothers and sisters. I will go through them. Just going to send a message for the community. Let me go there. You know what? I will share the link directly in the community. That would be better this way. So here's the link in the chat. Bear with me. I hope I won't have many trolls because it happens that they come and troll when they see the link. But I'm in control. I will deal with it if it should come up. If that kind of situation should come up. So we are live now. Here is the link to talk to me directly via with your webcam or microphone. Oh. I have a link that link is way too long. All of a sudden, let me try some other ways. Oh, you know what? I'm tripping. I was so used to using my mobile phone. I can do it directly from my PC. And now I will go there, there, community. That's it. So we are live now. Here is the link to talk directly with your or microphone. And just for the record, Jonas. Now, thank you for your patience, brothers and sisters. So Aaron Jacobs was asking if I believe that the Necher or Necheru were real people, and what are my thoughts on those big stone. Now, I think he meant to write coffins because he says coffins found in the pyramids of Giza. I don't know about the Necheru. I don't know. However, the pharaohs, the viziers, the intendants, and so on, they are definitely real people. They are definitely historical people. When it comes to the Necheru, we don't even know their time period. I don't think anybody. It's short, only about 3 minutes. Okay, I will read that afterwards. I don't think that anyone is in a position to tell us the time period for the Necheru. And the big stone coffins found in the Pyramid of Giza, well, I haven't seen them. I went to the Giza Plateau, but I did not enter the Great Pyramid because we're not allowed to film. And on top of that, I was told there isn't any inscription, any writing. So was it a tomb? Maybe, we're not sure. But feel free with your other questions. Now, Sat 12 is asking me if I've ever seen that video called Siege of Lachish from the British Museum. Let me have a quick look. Let me have a quick look. Oh, okay, it's okay. Never mind, I can go back. Oh yes, that's the one. I think you shared the you or somebody else shared that link, and I addressed that actually during yesterday's live stream. The person that's in the British Museum. Well, this is part 2 here. This is part 2. So basically, what we have there is someone showing some alleged Hebrews, and because you have those little coils on the hair, then that person things that we are looking at black people. But I will share a few links that totally disproves this claim. So let me get busy right now. Okay. Ah, yes. I will start there. Well, you know what? I could share only this one. Um, so-called kinky hair knots on um, ancient reliefs and statues. And you know what? Let's use this technology that we have at hand. Okay. Here's what I will do. Here's what I will do. I will share the screen. So share screen. There it is. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, good enough. Let's blow this up. Okay. And so I will remove, okay, I can leave the comments. So here you can see these so-called knots, right? I've shared the link to that video in the chat. You can see yours truly in the Louvre Museum. Look at this individual. Look at the hair. Do black people have that kind of hair? There are others. You will see just in a couple of seconds. Look at this. Look at this beard. Look at the phenotype of these individuals. Look at this. Oh no, those are not black people. These scores do not represent kinky hair at all. You're not going to tell me that they have straight hair at the top and at the bottom is kinky. You understand? Now, there's another one here. Well, I'll share it in the chat first. King of Mesopotamia. King of Mesopotamia. The link, and now okay, never mind the advert. Now, let's make this bigger. Now look at this, brothers and sisters. Let's find out who this is. It's the king Ashurbanipal II from 800 BCE. Look at this. Look at the hair around the back. You mean to tell me those are kinky hair? Look at this servant or subject. Look at his hair. Do you mean to tell me that this is straight hair and right at the bottom we have kinky hair? No, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. So that was just for the record. That was just for the record. Let me go through the comments. Let me close this as well and this as well. So let me just go through the comments. Um, Wife, you wrote, Hotep fam, thank you for your presence and your support. Aaron is greeting everybody. And wife is saying, do not forget to like the live. Indeed, by all means, do so. Sat 12 wrote, okay, no, I went over this one as well. Teresa Smertz has joined us. She wrote, Dogon pre 14,000 years before the Adamu. Gilmore Bailey wrote, what about the pyramids being power sources? Tesla took the technology of the past, creating the AC current. Well, I don't know about that. I really don't know about that. Now, there is some claim about the pyramids being a power source. Some people talk about magnetic waves and so on, those kind of things. I'm not in a position to dwell on that. But besides the pyramid, we have some people claiming that the light bulb was in use in Kemet. And they are using some depiction where we see a lotus flower. And some people make the claim that the battery, the electric battery, was in use also at the time of Kemet. And they are using depictions where we can see the jade pillar. Now, the jade pillar I will share it. That's the jade pillar. This glyph stands for jade, which means stability. Okay? And so here's the kind of things that you can see for those people claiming electricity in Kemet. Some articles were written years ago explaining that this is not a light bulb, but this is a lotus flower. And we also have, hold on, this one. And really, it has nothing to do with planes or helicopters or spaceships. Those are just glyphs superimposed, one glyph on top of another. It's as simple as that. I don't understand Teresa's question. She wrote, but the Hamitic blacks were Caucasoids. Aaron is asking, right. Also, did you catch that lightning? That lightning strike at Washington. No, I don't know what this is all about. I don't know. Gilmour wrote, looks like Nimrod. I'm sorry, it looks like King Nimrod of the Bible. How do you know it looks like King Nimrod? Do you know how Nimrod looked like? Do we have depictions of Nimrod? I don't think we do. I don't think we do. Okay, so Aaron is saying that the lightning hit that obelisk in Washington, D.C. Okay, well, I hope that it did not damage it. Sat 12 is asking, no, it's saying those are Assyrians who invaded the Hebrews, not the same people. Now, it's fine if you or anybody here, if you or anybody else says that the depictions that are showed portray some Assyrians. What matters here is their physical features. The hair. Can we at least agree that they have straight hair, which is not a black African physical characteristic? That's what matters here. And I don't know if Satuav is talking about the depictions shown on my video, or if he's talking about the ones that we see in the other person's video who is in a British museum showing alleged Hebrews. Because the main reason why many people claim, and by the way, I did not watch his videos in full. I just scrolled over it. Uh, Maybe yesterday or the day before yesterday, the link was posted on one of my video. A comment was left on one of my video, and today I just happened to see the part two, and I've seen only as far as you have with me while I was talking. So I don't feel like I need to listen to it because it's the same old thing. Just like on that website, um, there's a video entitled "All Black Everything," and I go through a few of the claims and few of the artifacts. They are even claiming a representation of Jesus Christ. But anyway, all this to say that the main reason why him and other people claim that those are showing black people is because of these cores. Many people feel like those cores show kinky hair. Hence why on many different artifacts I have taken the time to show these so-called knots. And we can clearly see that this is showing straight hair, not kinky hair. That's what matters the most here. Shadi wrote Caucasians were originally dark skinned, still white. And Arab Jacobs wrote they were African, right? Who are you talking about when you're asking this? Just so we can be clear, brother. Now, 7 of 7 wrote, yeah, it can be done, but will require an ultra perm. Finger wave the top and then roll a set to the back. What can be done? Shadi wrote, African history is set in stone. And Eric Jacobs wrote, Ptah. Mm, okay. Shadi wrote, Neolithic people in East Africa are viewed as Caucasoids because of slim features. See African/black. Teresa wrote, only the Bantu of South Africa are not Caucasoids. Okay. Now, brothers and sisters, I went through all the comments. And once again, here's the link to join the conversation. Why don't somebody use it really? If you are shy and you don't want to see your face, you don't have to. At least you can use your microphone. It's the 21st century, brothers and sisters. I'm not planning on just reading the comments forever. I can do that for a little while. And then we have to take it to another level. Now, Sat 12 wrote, look at this from the tomb of Sobek Hotep. It's like a color version of the relief you showed yesterday. Are they black? So let me look at the link. To me, no, they are not black. Let me show the link that the brother has shared with us. Is it this one? I think it's this one. Yes, it's this one. To me, those people are not black. No. No. Those look like sea people or Amu, which means Asiatics in Medu Nature. Maybe Canaanites. But no. And for reference purposes, there's that video for those who don't know, entitled White Semites, Black Awakening. And there's also that one where I show the standard of war, and I will show it now. I knew that it rang a bell. I knew that depiction rang a bell. So we will know where this is coming from. Now, first of all, I'm sharing the link to this video entitled Black Semites, Shocking Revelation. So here, okay, so here we have the standard of war dated about 2600 to 2400 BCE. That's 4,400 years old at least. From Ur, southern Iraq. Room 56, Mesopotamia. And I have actually filmed the standard of war. I went there to film it. If you go on my account, you know how to do now. You can search within my account and you type in standard of war. You heard many times people say Sumerians, the black-headed ones. If you read that description or you hear that description about the Sumerians, you might be inclined to think, well, those were black, because it says the black-headed ones. Well, here we have the so-called black-headed ones, and that's from the British Museum. Now watch this hair dress. It appears on a regular basis from those people. So here is the picture that our brother Sat 12 has shared. Let's see what the British Museum says. Part of a painted tomb wall stone seen of Asiatic tribute bearers in two registers excavated from the tomb of Sobek Hotep. So indeed, it comes from his tomb. The British Museum says that those are Asiatic tribute bearers. So now it's up to people according to their understanding and sensibility and whatever else make them come to that conclusion to figure out whether those people are black or white. That one there is more tan than the other. So some people might be inclined to say that he's black at least, or that those people are black, and so on. But they have the common characteristics of Asiatics, as we see many times in the video White Semites, Black Awakening. That one is about 47 minutes long or 45 minutes long. This one is only 8 minutes long. That's a short version to open people's eyes. But this band that they have, the shape of their hair, the beard, and you can also tell from the nose many times, and the skin tone as well, when they are standing with the Egyptians, where we see them on the same relief or painting with the Egyptians, we can clearly see and make the difference. We can figure out the difference of phenotype overall between those people and the Black African Egyptians. This is Ashurbanipal, the second, the one that I shown earlier, 800 BC. Look at this beard. Look at the so-called knots that apparently represent kinky hair. Now this is small. This is small, so we cannot distinguish too much their physical features. But the hair there, looking at the hair there, this is not black people's hair. It's the same here. But anyway, look at the standard of war. Look at these individuals. And from the beginning, it mentions the king. See, that's the British Museum, not me. The king, the largest figure on the panel, sits on an upright chair. Look at the king. Do they look like black people to you? But we have many other depictions of these Asiatics. Many. Keep the comments going. Keep the questions going. I will read them. Now, this is White Semites, Black Awakening. You see, this one, it looks just like in the Standard of War. It might actually be from the Standard of War anyway. I want to show you those Asiatics standing near the Black African Egyptians. We have one like this with blue eyes. Canaanites. You see the beard and the hair. Now those look just like, you see this, there's a video that I've uploaded a couple of days ago from the Louvre Museum, 1300 BC, and we see some Syrio-Palestinians with some Libyans and some Nubians. And here we can see, with the what is it called? The braid here, the braided hair here. They look just like the same Canaanite vessels from the Temple of Horemheb. And I have actually that one there, that relief there. I have actually pictures of it. It's from the museum in Leiden. in the Netherlands. And that's what he says on the right, courtesy of Rijksmuseum van whatever. This is their language. I've been there. We are not allowed to film in that museum. So I'll take the picture. So in due time, I will show you this relief as well as the other. It's quite a large relief, quite a large relief. So, um, but if you go back here, hold on. Those look like Libyans. This one might be a Nubian. Those you can tell the difference in phenotype. But anyway, look what's next. You see, Leiden. Look at what's next now. Still Canaanites, page 411. Look at them. Look at your Canaanites. Those are the Egyptians. Those are the Canaanites. You see the hairstyle. You see the beards. You see the skin tone in comparison with the Egyptians. No comparison. It's a no-brainer. The females in the back, the male in the front. Those are your Canaanites. That's from a mural tomb at Beni Hassan. And that book, for the record, those who wonder what that book is, that's the the Oxford Encyclopedia of Archaeology in the Near East. That video is one of the most important video on ancient people's ethnicity. Is particularly in the Levant, the Near East, Mesopotamia, and so on. You understand? Because for many years, for whatever reason, the main reason being the Abrahamic belief system, we were led to think that the Semites were black, that the Hebrews were black. And we all know recently what happened. That falsehood got Nick Canaan kicked out. First, they said that this second program that he's presenting will still go on because they felt like his apology was sincere, but eventually they said that it's postponed to some later time. So most likely it will not happen again. So he has lost 2 different jobs over the Asiatic black man falsehood, over the Pan-African falsehood. So let's get some clarity, brothers and sisters. Now let me go through the comments. Trisha wrote, I believe there were a lot of other races that were not recorded. Gilmore says the tall race giants with the offspring of the fallen angels called the Nephilim. I guess he meant to write were the offspring of the fallen angel. That's the biblical narrative stuff. Sat 12 wrote, many people will call many of the Arabs brown people, not white though, or not white through. On the Arabian Peninsula, not those Mesopotamians from Sumer, were not Semites. Shadi wrote Osama bin Laden's ancestors, and he was talking about those depictions that I've shown. Aaron wrote, speaking of war, this brother, Home Team History, did a great video on how just had the greatest army ever. There might be some word missing, or okay, how the Nubians Kush had the greatest army. I don't know if we can say that they had the greatest army, but they were renowned. The archers were renowned. The Nubian warriors were renowned. They had They had a rep. They had a reputation. And Taaka did his thing. The family of Kamos were fighting the um, Hyksos. They were from the south. They did their thing. They handled business. They got busy. Satwell wrote Herodotus called East Indians, some of them very dark but with straight hair. He called them Eastern Ethiopians. Some regard black as skin tone alone. The term is opinion. Aaron wrote, I agree, Shaka. Totally two different people. Shadi wrote, ancient Nubia was colossal. Now, brothers and sisters, we've been on for 53 minutes. So, if nobody calls in, then we will call it a day. Invite link. So I'm sharing the invite link once again. And I'm waiting. You understand that I'm not going to read comments forever. It's the 21st century. Don't be shy, brothers and sisters. I don't bite. And also, don't forget paypal.me/maatforever. Your contributions, your donation will ultimately help me for that museum trip that I'm planning on doing quite soon. This way we'll be able to share even more artifacts from many different museums at different locations. So let's see if we have a brave soul that will join the conversation. How many likes do we have? 8 likes only? Come on, brothers and sisters, we can do better than this. Even if the broadcast has to come to an end in 5 minutes because nobody calls in, which is fine, at least put some thumbs ups. We have 16 people online and only 8 likes, which means that we can have twice as much. $12 likes now. Good. Thank you. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. It's very important for you to put some likes to these videos. Now, Tahaka is asking, have you seen the statue of Amenhotep III in the Brooklyn Museum? No, I haven't seen that one. I've never been to the Brooklyn Museum. That's one of the museums that I'm planning on going to some time later on. Actually, I'm planning on going to several museums in America, but soon there will be museums in Europe. However, I have filmed Amenhotep III in the Louvre Museum. And for the record, I will share the screen. This is Amenhotep III in the Louvre Museum. Let me share the link. So Amenhotep the Louvre Museum. Is it possible for someone to show me a link where I can see Amenhotep the Third in the Louvre in the Brooklyn Museum? Trisha wrote, "Do you believe that all races come from an African woman?" I don't. Well, I don't know. We're talking about millions of years, so I will not be able to say. But most likely, all different races or ethnic group derived from the Africans after they moved or after albinism came into place. We don't know for sure how the different ethnicities came about. Shadi wrote, "I want to visit the pyramids in Kemet and Sudan." hmm Aaron Jacobs wrote, "9 on my end." I don't know what he means. Oh, it's probably talking about the amount of likes. Sat 12 wrote 15. Let me see. Um, do we have 15 now? Yes, 15. That's great. Thank you very much for that, brothers and sisters. It's a good look. Aaron Jacobs wrote, "I am he who comes in peace." Well, Amenhotep will mean Amun or Amen is satisfied or he's in peace or appeased. Okay, the video is finished. So, oh, thank you, Satwa, for sharing the video. So, apparently there are 16 likes now. But let me see that video from the Brooklyn Museum. I mean, video that link. Okay. Oh well, it's funny because looking at it, I would have said that's Tutankhamun, but it is Amenhotep III, and that's actually the Brooklyn Museum's website. Okay, let's share this. Let's share this. Brooklyn Museum. It looks like it's wood. Yes, it is wood. Oh, that's all of it. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, last call. Last call before the end of the broadcast. Call in link. Nobody wants to call in. Do it on your own free will. Don't feel obligated. It's been an hour and 1 minute now. How long does it take for people to call in? I guess it's not a matter of time. Loveja Azul wrote, "Why is there arguments about the race of people in Kemet? Are there any facts on who they are and where they came from? Where they come from? Many people say from the south. But why there are arguments about the race of people in Kemet? Well, for a very long time, some people were claiming that the ancient Egyptians were white. But Diop and Obenga did their thing back in 1974. And we have the artifacts. But most of our people don't go to the museums to see the artifacts. Today, I went to the Okay, I have a brother that has joined us. One moment. What's up, brother? Can you hear me, brother? Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. Oh, yes, I can hear you loud and clear. How you doing?
Oh, peace, brother, peace. Yeah, this is Radio One.
Welcome, brother, with Radio One.
Yeah, man. Just tuning in, man. Just trying to shake off some of this laziness. Yeah, sometimes we get a little lazy and don't want to come on and talk. But yeah, I don't have that long.
I appreciate that. It's a good look, brother.
Yeah, yeah. But can you hear me good though?
Yes, very, very
Okay,
good.
okay, great. Yeah, because I just got my new computer, man, and I wanted to test it out on the live stream, man. So
That's all good. That's all good.
yeah. Yeah, but I just want to say, man, um, I, I, yeah, I commend you on the work that you do, man, because our people, man, we definitely, I mean, our people are being deceived and they believing in so much lies, man, and you know, but it's like they don't want to hear the truth, man. When you bring forth the truth, man, they just want to believe in these these Asiatic black man Semite lies, what you've been exposing all along, but it's like not enough people are listening to you, man. So and they just continue believing these lies. When say for instance, the Sonetter TV, they have these debates over and over again. So the thing I'm saying is, okay, after every debate, why are Hebrew Israelites still Hebrew Israelites? Why are they not convinced? Why?
Money.
Oh yeah, okay, money. Yeah, it's like, I mean,
Belief and money.
yeah. But it's, say, if after all these debates, when all this information come out, doing these PowerPoints and all that, should most of the Hebrew Israelites be convinced that that's not who they are? But yet, when you see them a couple days later, a few weeks later, even years later, they still a Hebrew Israelite. And and I just don't understand that. And I watched your video about Nick Cannon, man, and and I definitely agree with what you said about Nick Cannon, because Nick Cannon, he is a celebrity, and I'm guessing, like, unfortunately, the Hebrew Israelites, he was influenced by the Hebrew Israelites first. I wish somebody who had more of a knowledge of history would have got to him first before the Hebrew Israelites. Because the Hebrew Israelites, the problem with them is that they do not go outside of the Bible. No. They do not go beyond the Bible. You have to go beyond the Bible to understand history. And they don't do that. They stay within the Bible. And to make it worse, they cannot even tell the truth about what's in the Bible. And and you've been showing all along, man, that these people are not black. Okay, we know from Herodotus, the historian, he says that the Egyptians and the Ethiopians were black. And we can go to the tombs and see that they were black. He never said the Syrians, the Phoenicians, the Assyrians, Babylonians were black. He's saying that the Africans were black. And it's like, he's saying the Africans were black, and he never called the Asiatics black. And when you go on the tombs of Egypt, you see that the Asiatics were not black.
Mm-hmm.
And it just I made some videos. I did my best, and because I tell the truth, man, I'm hated by a lot.
You have a YouTube account, brother?
Oh yes. It's
can you share the link if you don't mind in the chat?
Yes, I'll try.
Okay, all right, but keep going, brother.
Yeah,
but you're hated by many.
Yeah, because I've been going at it with this username called Phoenician 7 Phoenician 7. Are you familiar with the user?
No, but
Yeah,
I would just have a quick look.
yeah. Seven Phoenician seven. She never, or she claims to be a she. But I don't know if it's a he or a she, but she makes videos, constantly make videos saying that DNA proves that the ancient Egyptians were Caucasians. I mean, just a bunch of nonsense. I mean, every
All
video
right.
it's saying some DNA. It's always some new fake DNA study. That's that's supposed to disprove that the ancient Egyptians were not black. And it's just so many of them that it gets you hear so many of it that it gets to a point where you have to say that it's ridiculous. How
Yes.
many DNA studies are you going to show? And never, not one of these DNA studies are never saying anything about African. They all saying Eurasian. I mean, there are even some DNA studies that's trying to say that the civilizations in West Africa were founded by Eurasians, but we find this nowhere in history. So it's like DNA geneticists, man, they're making up history, and I'll say, man, I mean, from all my research I do, I say most history today is based on theories. I mean, it's hardly like most of the stuff that a lot of these people saying. I mean, they have no sources or no solid artifacts to prove what they're talking about. Just like I made a
It's
couple
true.
videos. Yeah, yeah, I made a couple videos where I debunk, I go against the Hebrew Israelites in West Africa. And that's, I mean, and that's and the bad part about that is, we could say, if the Bible is fake or not, if the people in the Bible, did they exist or not, that's another debate. But when it comes to Hebrew Israelites in West Africa, that's not even in the Bible. That's not even according to the Bible. So it's like, they okay, you want to say the Bible is a lie, well, or if it's the truth, well, they're not telling the truth about the lie. Or or how or however can I put it, but you know, and it's like it's no respect, man. It's like everybody got their own genre of the way they want to tell history, and they don't want to respect nobody else's. Like this brother Garfield, I watch him a couple times, man, and a lot of times, man, he just talks a bunch of nonsense. I mean, one
He
time I try
does.
to, yeah, man, he talks crazy, and it's like he talks crazy, and then later he comes to his senses, and say, oh yeah, my bad, yeah, I didn't mean to say that. But then then he talks crazy again,
he, he
I'm
he
saying?
can't help it. I mean, I have addressed him not long ago. I don't know if you had a chance to see that, but he what is the he said so many weird things. He said that John the Baptist was real because he's confirmed by Josephus. he said that we have primaries for John, the disciple of Jesus. So I've asked. I don't know if you've seen the video, but if any of you know Garfield, just ask him. Can you show us the primaries for John, the disciple of Jesus? I wonder because Bob Ehrman said that we don't have any writing whatsoever, any original writings from the Gospels. We don't have copies. We don't have copies of the copies. We don't have copies of the copies of the copies. But here, Mr. Garfield on the wild field talking about we have primaries for John, the disciple of Jesus. And but the video has been uploaded not long ago. There's some other weird things that he's been saying, but what I don't like is him um, always talking about Kemetic people, but he doesn't run his mouth about Muslims or Christians, and I think it's very strange. There has to be some motive behind that. But brother, I had a quick look at that account from that apparently a lady, that Phoenician 7,
Uh-huh.
and it looks to me. like she's using artifacts that look white. Now there is one artifact um that is actually in the Louvre Museum, and I think it's from the fifth dynasty. It's over 2000 BC. And every time I do a visit in the Louvre Museum, I say this one is
Mm.
an enigma to me. And even today, the brother Blaya is in the chat now, and he can confirm. I told him the same thing. I said this one is an enigma to me because to me it doesn't look black. It doesn't have the typical black African traits or phenotype. But that's just one among so many. And she also showed some uh, depictions of statues looking white in color. But through my videos, I've shown that you have some statues that appear white, but that is because they are so old. They are 4,000 years old. They are like 2200 BC, 2400 BC.
Oh yes,
And,
yes,
and as a
definitely. I
matter of
remember.
fact, yes, as a matter of fact, and in those footage that I show from the Louvre Museum, we can still see some parts of the red ochre that has faded away over time. Even on the top of their head, we can see the black
Yeah,
from the coloring of the hair. But he's so old that it has faded away. So a lot of people are selective like that in trying to make videos. And also, I saw that she had some video talking about 22nd dynasty. That's late. That's late. But they can do that.
yeah,
What?
yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Oh, my bad, my bad, my bad. Oh
No,
yeah,
no,
yeah, yeah.
it's all good.
You
It's
go
all
ahead.
good, bro. It's all good,
Okay.
bro. It's all good,
Yeah,
bro. I was just yes, yes. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. I've been
yeah.
flowing, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah,
waiting for someone to call, so now that you called
yeah.
in, I'm
Oh
let you have
yeah,
your share of flowing.
yeah. I feel you. I
Yeah.
feel you. Yeah, but yeah. I would say, man, first, man, don't waste any time with her because
Oh, I
she's
wouldn't.
looking for attention. Yeah, man. Keep
Yes.
on doing what you're doing. You know, because the truth be told, man, this is like her a third or fourth account. Yeah, this is a third or
Mhm.
fourth account, man, and she got shut down like 3 times. Okay,
Mhm.
and I played a big part in it. I shut her down 3 times. Okay, I shut her down. You know, I debunked her knowledge. You know, I debunked her lies, and my account's still up. My video's still up, but
Mhm.
she's been shut down like 3 times, man. So she's already like she already failed like 3 times. You know, she's already pretty much dead. You know, and I don't
Mhm.
want to, waste
Bring
any
her
more
back to life.
energy. Yeah, yeah, you know, right? Yeah, yeah, man.
I presume she is anonymous, isn't she? We have never seen her face, right?
Yeah. She
Yeah.
never showed her face, man, because that's
Yeah.
why I call her the faceless fraud. Yeah,
Mm.
because that's
I
what
mean,
it is, man.
people are under no obligation of showing their face. But at some point, when you come and make some claims about history, if you are unidentifiable, then it's not very convenient in order to have some discourse. But
Oh yes, I
she has
agree.
chosen her path, and many other people have been doing that for years. They make videos and they show artifacts from Egypt, but from the late periods, from 300 BC, 400 BC, and this is a Ptolemaic dynasties. This is the Roman era, the Greek era, and so on. So that's fine. I mean, if she was not unidentified and anonymous, then maybe I would have asked her what's her take on Amenhotep III from the Louvre Museum. But those people are really they're just struggling.
Yeah,
They
yeah, I
have a
agree.
problem with the facts and the evidence, and it's really a shame that even to this day, with all the artifacts, that they will claim that those people, that the ancient Egyptians were white, but they can do their thing, and we do our thing. But
Definitely.
um, I'm pretty sure she's not black, so that's fine. What is very sad is when we have black people who talk smack about Kemetic people, like Garfield, for example.
Yeah,
The Nation of Islam is teaching that Africans are living a jungle life, that Africans are not civilized, but Garfield don't run his mouth about this. But at the end of the day, just like you were mentioning, you have the Hebrew Israelites. No matter what they are shown, they are still Hebrew Israelites. And truth be told, they've been in that field, they've been having that belief for so long, and it's not easy when you have been believing in something and teaching something for decades, and then to come to the realization that it was not factual. And besides that, they've been getting paid. They are an
Yeah.
organization. They have temples or places of worship, and they have literature that they sell. They have clothing that they sell, and probably videos, DVDs that they sell. They might have subscriptions about lessons of Hebrews, lessons of Hebrew history. So that plays a big part. And when you have Garfield picking on the Kemetic people, it's very simple. The Kemetic people are a minority when we look at Black people. Most people are Abrahamic believers. So
Yeah.
I think it's not courageous of him to talk smack all the time about Kemetic people when he doesn't have a word to say, for example, about the Nation of Islam, teaching that Africans are living a jungle life and that Black people are cursed because we rebelled against God and we were disfigured, like Farrakhan said. And that video, I'm pretty sure most of you have seen it. Have you seen that video, brother?
Um, the video your video.
Yes, where we see Farrakhan talking about we didn't have broad nose, thick lips, and kinky hair.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Where he
yeah,
says, yeah, he says, we had straight hair like the
yes,
hair on the
exactly. The
eyebrows and
eyebrows.
all that
Yes,
nonsense. Yeah,
yeah. And
yeah, yeah,
now for things like that, Garfield is silent, and I find it very strange. If anyone wants to say something, a disagreement about any culture, then they are welcome. But
yeah.
when you see that they only talk about one particular culture, it's very strange. It's
Hmm,
fishy. It's suspicious to me. It's
hmm.
suspicious to me, you know.
I agree. I
So
agree. Definitely.
now he has chosen to push that Bible thing so much, and he probably wants to go back to Jesus, but he might not want to do it outright. He might want to justify that and try to vilify the Kemetic people to maybe I don't know, but maybe ultimately he would get back to Jesus. His great love for Jesus is taking over his
Yeah.
emotion. There has
Hmm,
to be something. The church must be in his heart so much, and that's up
hmm.
to him. Everybody can choose their path, but you don't have to go at Kemetic people like that. And
Yeah.
what's funny as well is that I'm sorry, brother, but I just wanted to say that
Okay.
he calls Asar Imhotep his master teacher. So he's like kind of all over the place. Even though Asar Imhotep claims to be a linguist, even though he doesn't have any degree of linguistic, unless that's brand new, and
Hmm.
even though he has been caught plagiarizing on several occasions, Asar Imhotep, for him, his name alone, and from what he's teaching and dealing with, he's dealing primarily with Kemet. So you have someone that could be labeled as a Kemetic person, and that's his master teacher, but yet he spends all day talking sideways, talking smack about Kemetic people, using the term Egyptomaniacs. We've had the term Hotep N-word going for a few years, thanks to people like Tariq Nasheed and many other. But Tariq Nasheed is one of the most um, uh, guilty person of using that term in a
Yeah.
derogatory
Yeah.
way. And
It's very
now we have a new
disrespectful.
term now. Yes, we have a new term now that's Egyptomaniacs. But people like that can go on. They can go on. Tariq Nasheed now he's selling Hotep T-shirts, you know, and maybe
Yeah.
Garfield
Mm.
later on he would change his stance as well because some people are fence riders like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree, man. I feel, man, that Garfield, like he is miseducated. And he needs to be educated because he talks a lot of nonsense. First of all, you cannot use Josephus Flavius as a reliable source.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's the first mistake, man, because Josephus Flavius, he is a secondary source to the Bible.
Hmm.
A lot of things what he said, the Bible does not even say. When he
Hmm.
mentions the invasion of Ethiopia by Moses, the Bible doesn't mention that. And also he mentions that the sons of Ham, they inhabited the land from Syria to Ammonites, and saying that
Hmm.
the sons of Ham migrated from Babylon and all that. But the Bible does not even mention that. So it's like, you can't use Josephus as, as a primary source, because you're gonna have some trouble. And also I want to say that
Hmm.
he a lot. I mean, he is saying this. He is teaching a history like that's not even backed up. Like a lot of what he says, he never shows sources. I would like
I
to,
agree 100%.
yeah, you know, it's like, I would like to see the sources that validates his claim that we are just West African. And I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, hell, I will say even 10 times out of 10, that source is going to date somewhere to 17th century, 18th century, 19th century AD. Because according to to history, West Africa, we don't get an account, like a historical account from the West Africans themselves, until the Songhai Empire, where they write and I have both books, the Tariq al Sudan and the Tariq Fatah. That is the first time we get an account, like a full detailed historical account coming from the West Africans themselves. But the only problem of the Tariq al Sudan is it was written by Islamic West Africans.
Hmm.
So it's like, we're getting West African history, added with a mixed in with some Islamic propaganda. I mean, it would be nice if we had got like a full detailed account of West African history from the West Africans themselves before Islam.
Yeah.
And truth be told, that it really doesn't exist. But it's like, also, like, even when dealing with sources such as Herodotus, the ancient records of Egypt, Theodore
Hmm.
Siculus, these
Hmm.
sources have not been told the truth about. It's like they've been downplayed and lied about for so long. You
Hmm.
got people saying that, and I've been studying this, and I'm going to make a new channel. I'm starting a new channel where I'm going to be talking about this, because there's a lot of exaggerated history being taught. You got people saying that, the Ethiopians were only the Somalians, the people of the Horn of Africa. But when we go to the records, it says that the Ethiopians were all the people west of Egypt. I mean, west of Kush. All the people that lives in that southern Sahara, south of Morocco, deep in the Sahara, all those people were called Ethiopians. So why is the term Ethiopian is only being applied to the people of the Horn of Africa? We know that the first Ethiopians, I would say the original Ethiopians, were the people of Sudan, people of northern Sudan. But then all of a sudden, as history went on, everybody, all Africans south of the Sahara were known as Ethiopians. But all of a sudden today, only the Horn of Africans, only the people in the Horn of Africa and Somalians are the Ethiopians. You know,
Well,
you know,
I'm sorry, brother. Mm.
oh yeah, yeah, and
Mm.
a lot of things has changed. I mean, it's like people are out, like they are out of touch with the ancient world, and it's like they're
Yes.
they're they're, they're accepting more of these modern teachings and just ignoring the ancient teachings, and
Hmm.
not trying to connect the modern teachings with the ancient teachings.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you said those things, because the term Ethiopian is similar to the term Moor, which meant different things at different time. At one point, Moor was a term used to describe Muslims in general, just like Ethiopian at some point was used to describe black people in general. And earlier, you mentioned the West African thing, because you have one dude um, who made 2 videos saying F Kemet, F Hotep, and something like that. And I don't want to say his name, but I've addressed him once. And he says basically F Kemet or F ancient Egypt, we are West Africans. And we had other people as well who talk that West African talk. And there is that video that I've made where there are different African languages, West African languages,
Uh-huh.
with words that are the same as Medu Nature word, same as ancient
Mm.
Egyptian words. So we can see some relationship there. The other thing is that people have moved. Kemet was invaded. So
Yeah.
people have moved. So they could have been in East Africa and ended up
Uh-huh.
in West Africa. It's as simple as that. And
Yeah. Hmm.
once again, when people say, oh, F Kemet, we're West Africans, that sounds funny to me. Because basically, are you trying to say that because you feel or you think or you know that you are from West Africa, then all the rest of Africa you just don't care about? That doesn't really make sense to me. And here's an analogy. You had the people who were in
Mm.
New Orleans.
Uh-huh.
We had Hurricane Katrina. Because of that, they were
Uh-huh.
displaced and they ended up moving to other parts. Can you picture someone who would say, F New Orleans, I'm from New York. I've been in New York or I've been in LA. But in the first place, that person was from over there. To me, it just
Yeah.
doesn't make sense at all. And nobody claims that all African Americans are descendants of Kemetic of ancient Egyptians. Nobody is claiming that. We
Yeah.
just have a culture, a society, an empire that was indigenously Africans. It was indigenous Africans who ruled and controlled that empire.
Yeah.
So we have a great example because it was a functional society that lasted for about 3,000 years. On the other hand, we have some cultures where Caucasians, Europeans, white people controlled, and on top of that, they enslaved Africans. But we
Mm.
have all those Abrahamic believers who want to follow that path. And that's a huge problem. And regarding what you said about the religion, Garfield usually don't show any sources. What he does, and it's obvious, he's just quoting some Christian authors. Some
Okay.
might not be Christians, but Christian authors would say so many things, and they will use the Bible to validate the Bible or use other sources to try to validate the Bible. But those people, they don't have, for the most part, records to show us. So he's just quoting those people because they are PhDs, because they are historians, so he feels like they have authority. But in the first place, when it comes to the historical aspect of these stories, when we look for records, we are empty handed.
Mm.
Those scholars, those PhDs, those historians, they are Christians, so their purpose is to validate the Bible no matter what. Just like, for example, Wesley Muhammad, he said several times. For those who don't know him, he's a PhD in Islamic study, a PhD in Islamic studies. He is a member of the Nation of Islam. He was once a personal assistant to Farrakhan, and now he's a student minister. And he has publicly said that he supports Dianetics, which is Scientology, but that's for the record. He said several times, my life purpose is the academic vindication of the teachings of Elijah Muhammad. From the get go, he said that his life purpose is to validate the teachings of Elijah Muhammad. And for those who don't know the teachings of Elijah Muhammad, it says notably that God, in the person of Father Muhammad, had a father. Well, he was born in Arabia, and he had a father called Alfonso
Mm.
from Arabia, a descendant of the Quraysh tribe. The Quraysh tribe, that's the tribe of Muhammad ibn Abdullah or Prophet Muhammad. So somebody who is an Arab, descendant of Prophet Muhammad, is called Alfonso. Alfonso is not an Arabic name. The mother of that God in a person called Father Muhammad was called Baby G. And that God in person could speak about 16 languages and write so many of them. That's humoristic from the get go. Not trying to make fun of Elijah Muhammad, but I'm talking about the teachings.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that God went to school. He went to the university. To me, that just doesn't make sense. And there are so many other things. So many other things. So if you're trying to vindicate that, well, good luck.
yeah.
Good luck. It's a matter of belief. It's just a matter of belief. Those people have a belief and they want to validate that belief, you know? So Garfield can go on. He can go on. But in the long run, it will not be beneficial to him. He's all over the place. And the few times that I listen to him and he's having debate with people, he is asking 10,000 questions. He doesn't sound like he likes to answer questions. He loves to ask all kind of questions that pop into his brain and quote those people, those so-called authorities. But then again, if he wants to talk about the history and talking about we lack method, for example, I'm glad I remember now. He said, Garfield said, we're using Egyptian writing to validate Egypt, ancient Egypt. Why can't we use Jesus writing to talk about Jesus' history? And that's so funny. That's one of the funniest quote I ever. And then he says, "You see, that's a hypocrisy. We are hypocrites." And he mentions that we are lacking method, the methodology.
Uh,
The huge difference between the Egyptian writings that and the Jesus writings that the Egyptian writings are contemporaneous from the different people that are mentioned. When we're talking about Akhenaten, we have the artifacts that are from the lifetime of Akhenaten. Same for Amenhotep III, same for
yeah,
Ramesses II, and so on. Those writings about Jesus is decades, if not centuries, after the lifetime of Jesus. Not a single one that is contemporaneous. You can't even make that comparison. It's not even comparable. It's not even comparable. So now he wants us to use the Jesus writing to validate Jesus. That's just ridiculous. That's just ridiculous.
yeah.
I
I
mean,
agree,
really,
man. I agree,
this guy, man, this
man.
guy. I mean, he's just and I mean, when I hear him, he was supposed to debate Jabari.
Yeah, yeah.
We
On
don't. We yes, we don't hear about that debate no more. I mean,
yeah,
if he debates, I mean, before I didn't know that his level of scholarship was so low. I
yeah.
thought he
Me
knew a
too.
bit
Yeah,
better.
yeah. It surprised me. Yeah,
But I still felt like Jabari was going to be prevalent. I said that. That's my opinion. I said I think that Jabari is going to be prevalent. But now, what I can say, if he ever debates Jabari, he's going to get sliced up.
oh yeah. He's gonna
He's
get
going to get
destroyed.
sliced up.
Yeah, he's gonna get
I mean,
destroyed,
it's
man.
going to be destroyed. I mean, and I suspect that maybe that's why we don't hear about that debate no more because probably he knows that he's going to get sliced up. You
Yeah,
know. And his book, if he still wants to release his book, after what I hear him say, that gives me an idea of the level of the
yeah,
scholarship. I mean, the things he said is just weird. It's just weird.
yeah. I know, man. Because he even like the sources that he cites from. It's like okay. He's saying all this stuff is pseudo. You know, all history is pseudo. He's saying that a lot of what the Greeks say is pseudo, but those are the same sources that he get his information from.
Mm,
He tried to use like he even tried to use the Greek historian that goes by the name of Pausanias, to validate Jesus.
mm,
And it's like Pausanias, Greek historians, and you're going up against Jabari. Jabari is going to come with primary sources.
mm,
He's going to show that the shit is not real. I mean,
mm,
because that's what it's going to come down to at the end of the day. To
mm,
prove that this character was not real. And that his story was stolen from the story of Heru. And that's what Jabari intended on doing. And Garfield was going to be in for a hell of an ambush and didn't even know it.
mm.
Because he had a lot of confidence. Saying he don't
Oh,
he
he
going.
was so confident at first.
Yeah, yeah, no,
Oh yeah.
yeah, man. Yeah,
I mean, let me say this just for everybody listening. Some of you might know Garfield, you might be cool with him. It's all good. Whenever he mentions some so-called historical facts about Jesus or about the Bible or about Christianity, ask him for the record. Just do that. Ask him for the record. You will realize that what he mainly does is just quote Christian scholars or biblical scholars, whether they are Christians or not. Remember, brothers and sisters, just ask him what are the records. Whoever he mentions, what are the record? What? Find out the date of the record. Find out if it's during the lifetime of whoever he's talking about. That's the big problem with Christianity and Abrahamic belief system at large. And most of us just don't realize that we're getting fooled. We're getting hoodwinked, thinking that we have so many records about all those individuals. And
Yeah,
really, we don't. Really, we don't.
I
Paul is the
agree.
earliest Christian source that we have. Bart Ehrman said that. Now, if Bart Ehrman was wrong, then, oh, by all means, show and prove. Show us earlier writings than Paul for the Bible, for Christianity.
Mhm.
Paul could be labeled the father of Christianity. He could be labeled that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Here's my thing though, man. He also says, and he will even say that, man, um, that the land of Ham, we deal with the Hamites and the land of Ham and all that, and a lot of people, they have their agreements and disagreements on the Hamites and the Hamites of the Bible. But I say, man, look, it's talking about us. It's talking about us. Let's take it all back. Whether it's the Hamites or Mizraim, I mean, we don't have to agree with it, but we know that it's talking about us. Whether it's the Ethiopians, Egyptians mentioned in the by the Greeks, it's talking about us. And he says that he was. I even heard him say that the land of Ham was only in Egypt. Then I'm like, okay, what source are you basing that information off of? Because the Bible is not a book of geography. So I mean, so when you're just dealing with the Bible, you can place the land of Ham anywhere. You can place it
Mm,
in Asia. You can place it in China. You can place
mm,
it in India. Hell, you can even put it in America, because the Bible is not a book of geography. So
mm,
if you're going to say that the land of Ham was only in Egypt and not the rest of Africa, then you might as well take it out of Egypt too. Because if it's in Egypt, then that means it includes the rest of Africa, because Egypt is in Africa. How are you going to say that? Okay, first of all, Egypt. When we deal with Egypt, Egypt is the Nile River, where the temples sit on the banks of the Nile River. That is Egypt proper. That is Egypt. Okay, but the land that the temples and the pyramids sit on, that is Africa.
mm,
Do you hear what I'm talking about? That is
mm,
Africa. So you can't exclude out Africa, because the temples and pyramids that sit in Egypt, and try to say, well, this has nothing to do with the rest of Africa, when it's sitting on the landmass in Africa.
mm,
And another thing, like Egypt, when they say, well, Egyptians never went into West Africa and all that, that's they say that out of nonsense, because they do not understand the history of Egypt.
mm,
See, here's the thing: the ancient Egyptians, when you go into their records, they clearly say that you know they sent armies to the Euphrates. They went to the land of Punt. They
mhm,
went west into the oasis of Libya. They went into Kush. Okay,
mhm,
and yet in all these places you find no Egyptian temples, but yet the Egyptians, in their own records, are saying that they were there.
yeah.
They were there. And
Mm.
and this guy, he talks as if he was there. He was not there. You know what I mean? I'm talking about Garfield.
I know,
And
I
it's like,
understand. I
yeah,
understand.
yeah, yeah. And it's like, man, they saying that they were there. They and the only reason why the Egyptians, when they conquered the land of Cush to the south, I say the only reason why they built temples of Amun and Egyptian temples in the land of Cush to the south, was because Cush was the only country that was connected that was connected to Egypt by the Nile River. So it was easy for them to build temples in Kush because we know that's the way they built temples. They had to, put the stones in the boat and sail along the Nile River in order to build temples. And that is the reason why we find Egyptian temples in the land of Kush, because Kush was the only foreign country that was that bordered Egypt by the Nile River. But every other country in Asia, they had to march there. In Libya to the west, they had to march to Libya. So how in the hell are they going to build Egyptian temples in those parts, when it would have been so difficult? So it's like, so what I'm saying is, like, people like these guys, man, they confuse the temples with the Egyptians. They say Egyptians never left Egypt. No, the temples never left Egypt. The Egyptians were everywhere. And most of these Egyptians that went into these other lands, they were soldiers. And soldiers do not build temples. See what I'm saying? Soldiers, they don't, artisans, the Egyptian
Craftsman.
architects.
Yes.
They are the temple builders.
Mhm.
And they were the ones who stayed in Egypt. But the Egyptian soldiers, like we read an account from Herodotus where he says that the Colchians are descendants from the army of Sesostris, and he says that the army, Sesostris sent the army to the Colchis and they settled there, or but they got wearied of their march and they settled along the Colchis. That's saying that that the colonies that went out from Egypt were soldiers. So those soldiers came from Egypt, and I believe that, it's a lot of information. I mean, it's some information that kind of hides that, but there are some information. There is some information that that gives us an ideal of it. So it's like, you can't say that Egyptians were not just in West Africa when we don't find proof of Egyptians in all these other places that you're saying the Egyptians were in. Because, and also the Egyptians, they were not like the Arabs. Like Arabs, when the Arabs invaded Africa, they built mosques, and we know that the Phoenicians also settled in the northern part of West Africa, and Carthage to Tunisia, Morocco, and all that. But yet, all anything Phoenician there is gone. But when we read the history is telling us that they were there.
Mhm.
So it's like, they, well, just
We have many Phoenician artifacts, by the way. Now they might not be so old, but we have a fair bit. And for the record, just to let people know, we have many artifacts in the Louvre Museum. I've shown a few, and they are white, Caucasian. Don't think that they are black. For what? Yes, just for the record.
because I know, that's why I say that, that they settled in the northwest part of Africa,
Mm.
where they Morocco, they don't look so black,
No. No.
Tunisia, and
Mhm.
Algeria, in that area, but and also I believe that um that the Ethiopians, that the ancient people call Ethiopians, they've been downplayed and lied about, and I believe that is the link of ancient Egyptians going into other parts of Africa, because people, they try to treat like the histories of Herodotus and all this, they try to treat that as if that's some type of very ancient primary source. It's not. Herodotus, Diodorus Siculus, that's late history. Okay, when the Greeks speak about the Ethiopians, they are speaking about Kush after the Egyptian conquest. Okay, okay. When we read in the hieroglyphics, when the Egyptians say that they conquered the land of Kush, or what they call supposedly wretched Kush. Okay, that was Kush before Ethiopia. See, but when the Greeks came on and started talking about Ethiopia, that was Kush after the Egyptian conquest. So many Egyptians had settled and influenced the land of Kush after the Greeks came in. So I believe that the ancient Ethiopians are that is like the big link that connects the rest of Africans to ancient Egypt. Because look at the facts. They worship the god Amun, Zeus. You know, I know it may sound strange to some people, but it sounds strange because it is ancient. We were not there. You know, we can't. I mean, all we can do is go by the records. We can't be like Garfield and try to act like we was there, and and try to be Mr. Number one authority.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but when we go by the ancient records, man, I believe that these people called the ancient Ethiopians, they are the link to, you know, Lincoln. They are the link to Lincoln, Egypt with the rest of Africa, because we find these people everywhere, and I believe that they were a colony sent out by the southern Egyptians and the northern Sudanese. They went to other parts of Africa, and that's how, this is downplayed. Now we know when we look at history. Okay, we know that the Phoenicians they migrated to other parts of the Mediterranean. They settled in Libya, Carthage. The Persians, when they're in their conquests, they came into Egypt. They conquered Canaan, that area, all that area, and they had their soldiers and their garrisons established there. And I believe that this was the same case with the Ethiopians. I believe because when you look at the Ethiopians and when you look at the first sources for the Ethiopians, which is Homer, he says that the king of the Ethiopians was Memnon. And we know that Memnon historically was the king Amenhotep. And he said that, but a lot of people try to say, well, Memnon was a Cushite king and all that. No, he was not. He was based on the Egyptian king, because the Ethiopians, they were like a famous people, and they were people known to the Greeks. So this had to be like a major king that was in Egypt, in southern Egypt. And I just think like most history today is just downplayed and exaggerated, man. Like some people say, well, Ethiopia is the entire ocean and all that. That's exaggeration, man. Ethiopia is in Asia, America. They just place anywhere, any people, anywhere they want to please, man. And it's all based on exaggeration when you get into the sources of those people. Like it or not, and a lot of people they hate it, but like it or not, the source for the Ethiopians, ancient Ethiopians, is none other than Homer and Herodotus. You can't go outside that. When I say Ethiopians, I'm talking about Ethiopians. I'm not talking about Kush. Okay, I'm not talking about all the rest of Africa. But I'm talking about that word alone. You can't go outside of Homer and Herodotus. And based on what they say, they just don't give enough detailed description to say that Ethiopia was the whole entire world. They just don't say it. So you have to, that's what I want to do. It's like, just tell the truth about stuff, man. Tell the truth about what you read, because so much exaggeration is taking place. And like with the Hebrew Israelites, they can't tell the truth if their life depend on it. You know why? Because because it interferes with their belief.
Indeed.
Yeah. If they tell the truth, then it's going to interfere with their belief. So they have to lie a little. They have to lie about it. They don't want you to know the truth because they want you to believe that all black people in America are the Hebrew Israelites.
Yes,
the white,
have the 12 tribe chart.
Yeah, that fake chart. Yeah. And another the white races, they can't tell the truth about ancient Egypt because it interferes with their belief that the white race is superior.
Yes.
And that the white race founded all ancient empires. and they civilized the primitive Negroes. But history disagrees with that. So therefore, they cannot tell the truth about history. So it's like those beliefs, racism, religion, all that, and even science, pseudoscience. It's like it 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 interferes with the person telling the truth. That's why you can't get history from a religious person, because he's going to try to connect everything to the Bible.
Yes.
It's religion, So it's like, if you want to know about history, you got to go to just a natural historian. It says no Bible, no racism, no religion, none. I'm gonna let history tell history. Because the
The, re-
Hebrew.
yes, the records primarily. The records primarily, because indeed,
Oh yeah,
a historian that has a belief, his belief will somehow, somewhere influence him
yeah,
for
yeah,
conclusions,
exactly.
or for claims. But brother, I just wanted to say real quickly, you've mentioned Wretched Kush, and have you ever seen Mario Betti's video about Wretched Kush?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I saw
Oh,
I saw
that's
some of that video. Yeah.
well, it's very interesting. If you have time, maybe it's worth watching. And I have shared the link in the chat. Brothers and sisters, if you are not aware, there is Dr. Mario Beatty, who made a whole lecture about the term wretched kush,
Mhm.
because um, some people, including Wesley Muhammad, have tried to claim that wretched kush means some things like vile kush or
Mhm.
damned kush. And kush, that's actually Sudan. In the Medunecher, we have the term Kash. That's what they
Yeah,
call Kush. Okay.
yeah,
So that will be validating a distinction between the Egyptians and the Sudanese or Kushites. And that also would help the Europeans in their claims that the ancient Egyptians were not black African. But Mario Beatty has done a great job dealing with that term wretched. He has done a very great job. I was quite impressed with that video. I don't know him, but that video
yeah.
there, I do
Mm.
recommend it.
Yeah, it's been a while, man. I'm gonna have to check that video out. I know I watched some of it a long time ago, but yeah, I have to watch the whole thing. But yeah, man. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut it short, man, because I got food in the oven, and things.
Okay.
Yeah, 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 man. But definitely, man, it was nice, building with you, man. So yeah, and
Thank you
we gonna
again for calling.
yeah, and definitely next time at a right time, we can do it again.
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
Always feel free to call in, you as any others. Right now, I'm trying to have people calling in rather than just going and reading the comments. I mean, it's good for a little while, but I cannot do that forever. I'm not going to do that for months. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, 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 man. But next time when you have your live stream, hopefully I won't be, cooking anything or nothing like that.
Mm.
I can
Oh,
stay
it's all
on.
good, brother. It's all good, brother. It's all
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah, man. Well, I'm finna step out.
All right.
Um, but yeah, man, you keep on doing what you're doing, man.
Thank you.
Whenever I can, I'll show some support, man.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I just got everything straight with my bank account and everything, and whenever I can, hit you up with some money, I'll
Yes.
definitely support you, man.
I understand.
Yeah, yeah, but
Oh,
yeah, man,
brother, before you break out, did you have time to see Kemet and Ma'at?
commits my odds.
Yeah,
Is
the,
is
the
that is
video,
that a video?
yes, the main video, Kemet and Ma'at before Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. That 45-minute video that I've made.
No, no, no. I never. I
All
think
right,
yeah.
okay, okay.
I must
I'm
have
just going.
missed it.
I'm just going to share the link, but
Okay, okay,
really, if you have time, you might like. That's basically the video that I considered my best work.
okay, okay.
So it's an overview of Kemet. I explain many different things about Kemet. Really, the original title is Introduction to Kemet, but because my previous account was snatched, when I re-uploaded it, I changed the title to just Kemet and Ma'at.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
whenever
okay.
whenever you have time, brother, feel free to watch it if you want.
Okay, cool, cool. Yeah. Definitely, definitely. Y'all, I'll probably check it out tonight when I'm done eating. Yeah,
Oh, that'd be
yeah.
lovely.
Yeah, man. But yeah, man, it was good building with you, man. You know, I was feeling lazy, man. You know, I was like, man, I don't feel like getting on here, man. But you know, but it was good, man. You know,
Mhm.
sometimes you got to push yourself, man. You know, you
Yeah.
feel a little lazy, man. You got to push yourself, man. So yeah, man. But yeah. But yeah, this was good, man. You know, because it's the reason it's good, man, because you know it's hard, you know, to find somebody, you know, that's interested in the subject, man. You know that's
Yes.
somewhere on the same level as you, man. So because you know, most of our people, man, you know, they always want to talk about Jesus. They want to talk about, you know, religion, you know, man. You know, you ain't trying to hear it, man. But
Yeah.
but definitely, man. Yeah. Next time we have a stream like this, man, you know, hopefully it'll be a better time, man. You know, and
Of course.
and hopefully some more users come on, man, and we can build, man. You know,
Okay,
so
brother.
yeah, man. Yeah. With that said, man, you know, just take care of yourself, man, and
Thank you, brother. Same to you.
and hotel.
Hotel, brother.
All right, peace, peace.
Peace. All right. See, it's better like that to talk directly. Indeed, like Aaron Jacobs wrote, good vibes. There are many comments. Um, I couldn't go through all the comments, but yeah, yes, Styling wrote excellent video. Respect. I think he's talking about introduction to Kemet or Kemet and Ma'at. I do recommend that you watch it, brothers and sisters. I'm sure you will love it. Now, Memnon, just for the record, the brother mentioned it, but he had to go. According to Encyclopedia Britannica, it says in Greek mythology, son of Tithonus, son of Lamedon, legendary king of Troy and Eos. Um, I'm going to skip straight to the second paragraph, which is the last paragraph. There are only two paragraphs for that entry. So Memnon, for the record, that's Menmon. It says in Egypt, the name of Memnon was connected with the colossal stone statues of Amenhotep III near Thebes, two of which still remain. The more northerly of these was partly destroyed by an earthquake in 27 BC, resulting in a curious phenomenon. Every morning, with the rays of the rising sun touch, I'm sorry, when the rays of the rising sun touched the statue, it gave forth musical sounds like the twang of a harp string. This was supposed to be the voice of Memnon responding to the greetings of his mother Eos after the restoration of the statue by the Roman Emperor Septimius Severus, AD 170. The sounds ceased. They were attributed to the passage of air through the pores of the stone, caused chiefly by the change of temperature at sunrise. So there you have it. There you have it. So servant of Yah wrote, this has been enlightening. Thank you. You're welcome. Our brothers and sisters, I'm very glad that you were here. Um, one moment. If somebody wants to call in, feel free. Otherwise, then we are going to call it a day. This is what I want to do. Let me put this at the beginning. Right there. Let me share the screen. There it is. Why do we see this? Oh, never mind. It might go away. Hold on. Oh no. Oh, it's not. Hold on. That's it. That's the video introduction to Kemet. Make sure you watch it, brothers and sisters. Make sure you share it, brothers and sisters. There is one video that I would like you to share. It's that one. If you are not in a position to help financially by making a donation, I understand. But that is free of charge. It will not cost a thing. Most of us have accounts on many different social networks or social media. You have so many: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, MySpace, and so many. So be liberal with sharing this video right there. It teaches a lot. It will help our people. Once again, it's free of charge. It doesn't cost you a dime. So you can play a role in trying to enlighten or waken our people up. This is the missing link in Black history. Or if you prefer, and you can be down with the Bible maniacs who will read Christian books, you can choose that path if you want, and you can make a fool out of yourself in the academic world, but you will get some allies. Yeah, Styling wrote, "You're so on point with the talk of West African migration. Tribes left people along routes." Indeed. My parents were born in Haiti. I was born in France. Can you picture me saying, "Oh, I don't have anything to do with Haiti, I'm from France"? Oh, no. That wouldn't make sense. The issue is not about I come from there and I know I come from there, so I'm only going to be about this particular place or culture. And besides, the hypocrisy of those people who want to downplay Kemet allegedly because they are not from Kemet, they are not from East Africa, but they are from West Africa. Are those people practicing the culture of West Africa? Are they practicing the culture of West Africa? Or even if they are not practicing it, are they talking about the culture of West Africa? Are they? I don't think so. I don't recall hearing them talking about the culture of West Africa. Now, check this out. Those people who talk sideways about Kemetic people and who like to say that we are from West Africa, how come they talk so much about the Levant, about the Middle East, about the Near East? Are they from over there? So why are they talking about all those places? Oh, okay. The brother has shared his his channel, his YouTube channel. Oh, I was going to make a mistake there. All right. Oh yes, yes. I remember Radio One. I don't know why. One time I thought that he was from England. Let me get the spelling right. Radio One YouTube channel. I'm sharing his link there. So those people who love to say, "Oh no, no, forget about Kemet. We are not. We're from West Africa." They still talk so much about Jesus, Palestine, the Canaanites, And the disciples of Jesus, are they from over there? The issue is not I'm from there, so I'm talking about this place. No, we're talking about Black history, aren't we? I thought we were here to talk about Black culture and Black history, or let's say culture and history in general. Did people from Kemet enslave Black people for centuries? I don't think so. But those people practicing those faith, those belief system, did they enslave Black Africans for centuries? Yes, they have. Not every single one of them, but many of them. The Abrahamic belief system, the culture is coming from those areas. Is it our culture? Is it Black people's culture? I don't think so. I don't think so. But anyway, brothers and sisters, it's been 2 hours and 8 minutes. I don't know if I will be live streaming tomorrow, but I will continue to upload the videos from the different museums. So remember, brothers and sisters, I'm planning on going to several museums. It takes resources. So if you can, your donations will be welcome. You have the PayPal address there on the top, paypal.me/maatforever. It will be greatly appreciated and very helpful. Remember that, because we're getting clarity through history. And when it comes to history, there is no better than the original artifacts. There's no better than that. See, there's some so-called linguists. I have the article from 2011. He was talking about Black Hebrew stuff. Now, lately, for those who watch Garfield channel, Garfield has put again some video excerpt that he has played before. And it's that same linguist who, a decade later, nearly a decade later, 9 years later, he's saying there's no such thing as Black Hebrews. I was right and was attacked greatly by a particular squad when I was talking about white Semites. When I put out the video, White Semites, Black Awakening, all of a sudden I was being attacked by this squad. As if I had committed the greatest sin ever on the planet. But there was some Asiatic influence. But nevertheless, you are your own man, you are a master of your destiny. So if you allow some Asiatics to influence you, and if you tolerate people teaching that Black means death and Africans are living a jungle life, then there's something wrong with you. But that was then, for the record. Back in 2011, that's what I've been saying. 9 years, it took 9 years for dude to catch up. Why was I so accurate? Because I dealt with the primary records. You can't go wrong when you deal with the primary records, particularly if you know how to read what is written on them. We will get even more clarity as we go along. Now check this out, brothers and sisters. The video is there. I will not look for it now. I've shared it before. Anybody can go on my account and type in West Africa. You have different scholars, different PhDs who have made a lexicon, a list of words, different African languages with words that are the same or nearly the same as a Medunecher. Can we say the same about Hebrew words? We have Hebrew Israelites who claim that the African Americans are from a particular tribe of Israel. They claim that the Haitians are from a particular tribe of Israel. The Dominicans, they claim they are from a particular tribe of Israel. Puerto Ricans, and so on. The 12 tribe chart, that's what they have. For all those languages where those people are residing, do we find words that are the same in Hebrew? In many African languages, we have plenty of words that are the same as Medu Nature word, and they have, of course, the same meaning because you have homonyms. So they should not just come and say, "Oh, look, in Hebrew you have that word, in that language you have that word." Does it mean the same? Let's be clear on that. So, unfortunately, we've come to a point where being factual, because for some people, truth is relative, but being factual is not the popular view. It is not. Numbers play a big part. There's the numbers game. 1 billion Christian, 1 billion Muslims. That's a lot. They have influence, they have power, they have money, and they will push their narrative, their belief. They will do that. Hopefully, most of them will push their narrative peacefully. Some are not so peaceful. We have to know what we stand for. Do we stand for truth and do we stand for our culture? If you go to the average Chinese, if you try to tell him, well, your dragons that you are waving around when it's the Chinese New Year, that's pagan. Do you think he cares? His parents have been doing that and he will continue to do that. That's his culture. That's his culture. In India, Hinduism, there are so many deities. If you go to the average black person, he would be nearly scared to say that he's a polytheist because he's seen as a bad thing in the eyes of the monotheistic Abrahamic believers. When you read their books, there are so many deities named, but it's all good. But the Hindu, he doesn't care. He's not going to change his stance to please other people. So it's down to culture, it's down to history. Is it our culture? Is it our history? And did it work for us? I don't think that 400 years of the transatlantic slave trade and 1,000 years of the sub Saharan slave trade was beneficial to us. And the sickness that we find amongst Abrahamic believers, that sickness has been demonstrated by a PhD called Dr. Wesley Muhammad. When he had his PhD, he wrote a book called Black Arabia. And in that book, I've shown the quote many times. He wrote that when the Bakht agreement came about, the agreement that Sudan or Nubia was to send 360 slaves annually every year to Muslim Egypt, he labeled that victory. He said that the Nubians were the victors and they had the leverage. This is an example of the sickness of some black Abrahamic believers. The highest academic degree or level that one can reach is the PhD. And someone with a PhD had the nerves to say that following the war or the conflict between Muslim Egypt and Nubia, they came up with the Bakht agreement, which said that Sudan or Nubia was to send 360 slaves every year to Muslim Egypt. He labeled that as victory. He said that the Nubians were the victors and they had the leverage. Do you realize, brothers and sisters? Let's put it in simple terms. let's say I'm from BK. I have beef with people from BX, and following our beef, we come to an agreement. And let's say we call it the yes, yes, y'all agreement. And I say BX will send me 360 slaves every year. 360 slaves from BX shall be sent to BK every year. Can you picture a scholar documenting that conflict and say, well, following the yes, yes, y'all agreement, BX had to send 360 slaves to BK. But BX was the victor. BX had the leverage. How would that sound? Wouldn't that sound ridiculous? I will leave you with this, brothers and sisters. I will leave you with this. This dude wants to defend his belief system so bad that even when there's an agreement that says that 360 slaves must be sent, he calls that victory. I wonder what failure or loss is. If victory is sending 360 slaves, can you imagine what it is if they are in defeat? What kind of victory is that? 360 slaves every year, not just once, every year. That's victory? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. For those who have seen that video of that guy who faced a judge who happened to be his classmate back in the day. Oh my goodness. Thank you for being there, brothers and sisters. Don't be shy next time and join in. In the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will definitely holler back at you later. Hotep.